Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I never thought I'd be so happy saying that name. This game was fantastic start to finish. I don't know what it is. It might be the music that just invigorates you so much. There's a lot of challenge of it. There's a lot of fun things to do. There's lots of different pathways to explore. There's a great co-op mode that I did mostly in co-op with a good friend of mine, was who beat the entire game and unlocked everything there is possible to do, with the exception of a certain mode that you get after you unlock everything. But I don't really know, like, this was a really fun game. As someone who's never really owned any of the Donkey Kong Country series, with the exception of Donkey Kong Land 2 for the Game Boy, this is a fantastic experience. It was a solid platformer start to finish, and Nintendo Retro Studios really knows what to do as far as to make good games. I think the idea of having the island be invaded by these snowmads, as they're called, is a really cute and silly idea, but it also is kind of terrifying because he lives in this tropical island. They're making this winter wonderland. It's kind of funny. I think just right now, since I'm listening to it as I record this, I just gotta talk about the music. David Wise. Oh man, David Wise. I know that there was some other composer working on Returns, but I'm glad they had David Wise come back for this particular game. I have known about his music just via the internet from the 3 original Donkey Kong Country games, and he just blows it out of the park with the music in this game. Just so good. There's a lot of returning tracks from the old Donkey Kong Country games that a lot of fans will be happy about, but a lot of his original stuff too is fantastic. So many great tracks in this game. Like, this entire soundtrack is a must-have if you have the ability to get it for some reason. Or just listen to as you're playing the stages. I really like the idea that you have these different Kongs that you can use for different abilities. You have Diddy Kong, who has the jetpack. You have Dixie Kong, she's back. She can do her hover, which is still one of the most broken moves from the Country series, in my opinion. And you have Cranky Kong, who's awesome because he's basically like DuckTales mode. I didn't get to do much of that stuff since I was playing it co-op with my friend, and he basically always had control to use any of the other Kongs. And I guess that is one major flaw I'd give the game, is that if you are playing co-op, you only can play as Donkey Kong if you're player 1. Donkey Kong, no exceptions. Only Donkey Kong. It's Donkey Kong Country, no one else's. Even though Donkey Kong Country 2 and Donkey Kong Country 3, you can't play as Donkey Kong in those games. But that's a minor thing, and you kind of get used to just playing as Donkey Kong anyway. It's just a really fun, like, there's so many good things about this game. I can't really explain it. It's been a while since I've played this one as well, but I remember, there's so many good memories I have of playing this game, which I think is fantastic. Like, I'm glad that they're memories. I mean, this game isn't even a year old yet, and I have good memories of this game. Like, I can look back on this game and say, yeah, that was a good time playing Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. There's really hard stages, like these minecart stages. Some of them get really tricky and, like, really insane. But there's still a lot of fun, especially just me hanging out with my friend, playing it co-op, and just enjoying ourselves as we figure out how to do things, as we look for the secret exits, as we look for all the puzzle pieces. We didn't get all of them, we try to look for them. Getting all the Kong pieces and all that stuff, just kind of like doubling up on stuff. It was just a lot of fun. The bosses are pretty fun too. Some of them are really silly. Like, I like the seal boss from the first world, and then my personal favorite is the one from the fifth world. He's this polar bear, and he's like upset that you destroyed his popsicles. It's kind of funny. That's like really cool too, like the progression of the game. I read somewhere that David Wise wasn't really sure how to compose the music because in the previous games that he had done, original Donkey Kong Country trilogy, they all kind of had a set theme. First game, not really sure if the theme was there, but second game was pirates, third game was kind of like camping, road trip kind of type thing. But Tropical Freeze is not really, like, you see that title and you think, oh, like, this is gonna be like all ice world, and it's not actually. Like, only the last world has ice in it, and parts of the last bit of the fifth world. There's actually stuff with, like, fire in this game, which kind of surprised me based on the title. It's called Tropical Freeze. But all the music and the worlds progress in a really nice fashion that kind of lend themselves to prepare you for the stuff that's going to be in the final world that is actually pretty challenging. With a really cool final boss that has lava in it for some reason. I don't understand that, but whatever. I know, but out with spoilers, whatever, but it's a platformer game. There's not much story to spoil. Other than DK was apparently celebrating some kind of birthday or something. I don't know, the beginning cutscene, there was a banana, and they had a candle on it. I'm assuming it was someone's birthday. Or they just like putting candles in bananas. I don't know. There's just a lot of fun stuff to do in this game. I know it's not like, I'm not describing a lot to say about it other than that, but it's just a really fun platformer. It's fantastic level design, great music, great atmosphere. It's just a very atmospheric game that it's really enjoyable. Like, you can't help but get smiling playing this game, regardless how many times you die. You just can't help but be smiling. It's a bit challenging, yes, it is a bit challenging, but it just has this infectious tone that, like, you want to keep going. No matter how many times you fall, you want to keep going, and it's just, that makes me really happy. I hope that Retro Studios does great on the next game. I know they're going to be done with Donkey Kong Country for a while because a lot of people are requesting Metroid games, and that's fine. But as far as, like, a note to go out on, this is the highest of notes I could say. I haven't played many other Donkey Kong Country games, so I might be wrong, but this is a really fantastic game, and as of right now, my favorite country game. It was so good. I'm smiling about it. I'm also really happy. Just stupid side note. They put the first stage theme, Mangrove Cove, in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U as a music track. I'm happy about that because it's a fantastic track. That's all I have to say about it. I know it's not much, but it's just an enjoyable game. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one.